there! Have you eaten lunch today? How about start for a sweet and juicy apple? So, did you ever wonder how an apple actually develops? Where does it come from? How do we get the apple that are so good that we love to eat and eat like this? Or eat like an apple pie? Or eat an apple crisp? Or something good like that? Let's read a story today to find out how this apple grow and we eat them every day. How do apple grow? By Betty Maestro, illustrated by Julian Maestro. When you bite into a juicy apple, you're eating part of a flower. Food comes from flowers. In winter, an apple tree is bare. It's hard to imagine it covered a flower of fruit. But even it's cold and snow, tiny leaves buds and flower buds are waiting to open. Inside each leaf's buds are tiny curl-up leaves. Inside each flower bud are all the part of apple flower. Do you guys know what is a bud? Bud is a sweet on a plant that can grow into a new part, such as a leaves or a flower. This is a bud. In this picture, it's showing up there. Apple flowers are pink and white and sweet to smell, and each flower is the beginning of an apple. When spring comes, there are more hours of sunlight. The days are longer and warmer. The leaves buds open. Tiny green leaves appear on each twig. When the apple tree is covered with leaves, the flower buds begin to open. Up close, you can see a bunch of small pink and white flowers at the end of each twig. Each flower can become an apple, but all the right things must happen first. An apple flower has many parts and each have a special job to do. Around the outside are the sepals. They form a little cups to protect the rest of the flower. As the flower blossoms, the sepals open too. The pretty colors petal as sweet flower smells bring many insects and birds to the apple tree. The animals help us a need for flower to make fruit. Do anyone knows what is petal? Here is the picture showing what is a flower petals. And what is petal? For example, flower petals is one of the red parts on a rose bud. Everyone saw a rose before, right? That is what is a petals. Inside each flower are the males and female parts that make a new apple grows. The male parts are called stamens. Each flower has many stamens. If you look inside an apple flower, you can see all the stamens sticking up in a circle. At the top of each stamen, pollen is made. Pollen is a yellow powder. Each flower has thousands of powder grains. Each grain of pollen hold mixed cells. The female part of the flowers is called a pistil. You can see some of the pistil right at the center of the flower. The pistil have tiny tubes with sticky toes. At the bottom of the flower, outside these tiny tubes means the place with the tubes meet is the ovary. The ovary is the part of the pistil that holds the female cells. The ovary will become the inside coat of the apples. Do anyone knows what is the word female? A female also is the word girls or woman. They are all the same means. And do anybody know what is the pistil and ovary? This picture shows all the information about the pistil and ovary. Here is the flower of the part of the pistil, and here in the bottom is the ovary of the flower. An apple can grow when the male cells join with the female cell. When the flower is fertilized, the male cells for the pollens have to reach the female cell in the ovary. The sound easy, but it's not. The apple flower can be fertilized only by pollen for a different apple tree. Since apple trees can move, they can carry the pollen themselves. They need helpers for this job. Let's find out. Bees are some of the apple tree's best helpers. Bees are attracted to the colorful petals of the flowers. They like the smell of the sweet flower juice, the nectar. Bees fly from tree to tree, collecting nectar. They will use the nectar to make the honey. As the bees gather nectar, pollen grains stick to the bodies. When they lean off the flowers of the other apple trees, some of the pollen falls off. The grains of the pollen land on the stem toes of the pistil tubes. The male cells aim to trim down the tiny tubes. At the bottom, they reach the ovary. Here, of the male cell join the female cell. The flower is fertilized. Now, the petals fall to the ground. The petals are no longer needed. They have done their job. The flower has been filaments. Now an apple will begin to grow. It will grow right at the stem where the flower meets the stem. As the fertilized ovary grows bigger, it forms the apple crown, which holds the seed. They will be well protected here, around the ovary. The rest of the apple is swelling too. This is the white flavoring part you can eat. Look at the bottom of the rib of the apple. You can see bits of the dress slab left for the flower. When the apple is cut open, you can see of the seed. Look carefully, and you will see 5 little complete or section. There may be have many as the seed inside your apple. The seed are the fertilized female cells. Apple seed can grow into new apple tree. The apple tree must feed the grow apples. By using sunlight, water, and air, the leaves make a special kind of sugar. The sugar feeds the fruit. It takes about 50 leaves to make the sugar for one apple. All summer long, the apples grow bigger and riper. When fall arrived, the apples are almost ripe. During the last few weeks, the apple can feed themselves. They make their own sugar now. The sugar made the apple split. Sunlight helped the leaves and the apple to make food. It also helped to change the skin color of some apples. Different kinds of apple have different skin color. Some turn white and others turn yellow. Some white apples stay green, and even when they are ripe. Look at this picture. We already see they have different kinds of apples. Some is green, some is yellow, and some is red. And they also have different shape of these 4 apples showing in this book. When the apples are ripe, it's the time for picking. If no one picks the apple, they will fall to the ground. Animals will eat some of that and make care of the apple seed to other places. Some of this seed will grow into new apple tree. Some of the apples may just rot on the ground. After a while, they will become a part of the soil. They will help to feed the tree. Look at the picture. As fall as in, the tree loses the leaves. New buds are already forming. They will next year's apples. For now, the apple tree's work is over. For you, it's time to best time. It's apple eating time. Let's go and find an apple to eat.